It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I don't even know what part we're on at this point, but we are finishing up the chapel or church build. And if you take a gander at it, it's pretty big. Here is a miniature. We'll put him in the tower first so you can see how big the tower is. And then here he is inside the actual building itself. And there's the front door. Okay. That is not completely dry over there. That will be a problem. So we'll just be real careful about that. I just got a bunch of paint on me. I had sit this in front of the fan for an hour and thought it was all the way dry, but apparently some of this Mod Podge over here didn't quite dry. But we'll take care of it. Don't you worry, your ugly little heads. All right, first we need a soft brush. Something damp. And we need this. Deep brown from the Dollar Tree. And this is going to be our workout on the ground here to do the painted desert look. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get decent coverage. La 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 la. So, the preacher's name is Tyler Cord. And Tyler Cord murdered his family in a fit of rage because a demon convinced him that they were possessed by devils, or maybe other demons. They were possessed by something. And they were possessed because his wife had let the evil into their house by having an affair. So he came back from doing all this work for the church, trying to discover the secrets of voodoo and Native American spiritualism and all this stuff. And he comes home to a possessed family, so he thinks, that are only possessed because his wife was untrue. And he's been riding long and hard, and he's in a rage. He kills his family, his wife and his 2 innocent children. And then he is damned for it. Of course. Why wouldn't he be? He is damned for it. And then he finds out he was betrayed and tricked. Once he finds out he was betrayed and tricked, he seeks salvation, only to be told that there is no salvation for people like him by the church. Now, he ends up meeting a strange fella who, believe it or not, was an angel, who tells him that if he is willing to put his life on the line for salvation, and a very slim chance of salvation at that there's hope, there's an option. That's where he finds out about the town of Prosperity. But he can't figure out how to get there, because you can only get there if you receive a letter. So he has to do a series of unspeakable acts to show that he cannot be redeemed, so the demons don't realize it's him. And he does those unspeakable acts. It ends up in prosperity. Now on these bricks, I'm looking for a color called Territorial Beige. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Where you at, Territorial Beige? Can't find the damn color. Alright, while I was looking for Territorial Beige, we'll use this light mocha because I can find it. We're going to do the brickwork down here on the bottom with this. You want to try not to hit the ground with it, but if you get it up on the church, that's okay. Because we're going to be repainting the church. Now we can come do some cleanup work later, so don't get too worried about the little bit I got on the ground there. Okay, we're going to hit this with a hot air gun real quick because it's getting cold in here. Then we're going to use an off-white color, and it doesn't matter if you mix it with other stuff, so I'm using this antique parchment mixed with whatever I have here, and I'm not getting too concerned about it. I'm going to use this real soft makeup brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to come in here and try to follow the grain of the wood and do my big bulk painting with this, and then I'll come back and do something with another, smaller brush. I'm trying to get a lot of my base coating done with this. And we don't want to get down on them bricks, okay? Okay, get in those cracks a little bit. There you go. And the walls don't have to be perfect. We just want them to be light. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that brush, set it off in my water. I'm going to get this soft brush we were using for the shit outside. I'm going to get some more of that white paint. I'm going to keep it damp, but not too damp. And I'm going to try to half-ass do my edges and stuff and fill in some of the big spots we missed. I don't care if it's perfect. I do want to hit my windowsills some. I never had a sister, and I don't have any daughters. I have 4 sons. I have a brother, and my dad, obviously, my dad and mom have 2 sons. And my grandpa and grandma on my dad's side had 2 sons. And just not a lot of girls in the family, I guess, until my niece was just recently born. I always kind of wanted a daughter. But then again, I don't know if I'd be a very good dad to a little girl, because I'm kind of like rub dirt in it and shut the hell up. Man, I don't think that's how you handle little girls if I've learned anything from being married. So anyways, my brush is getting a little dry. I'm just going to grab a little bit of water. There we go. The reason I bring this up is because some of y'all have had sisters and daughters and stuff. Tell me, am I missing anything? What am I missing, sisters and daughters? Maybe I'm not missing out on anything. Maybe I am. But say something down there under the video about it if you got an opinion. And if you don't, that's fine too. Okay, here we go. We're starting to look like we got something going here. Get a little bit of that moisture, a little bit of that water. Okay, paint these up. Then we'll come inside and do a little bit of cleanup in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, it might be better for you if it's not perfect. It might look a little nicer. A little, not nicer, but a little more gritty and stuff. See, I'm leaving quite a bit out. Now, I've glued paint lids under here so I can kind of all right, that should be good enough. I'm going to drop that brush off at the, wherever you drop brushes off at, and I'm going to air dry this building with my hot air gun. And besides going back and fixing the ground outside, you almost could stop right there if that's what you wanted to do. Not quite where I'm at though. All right, get a dark brown paint, and I'm gonna do my floor with a dark brown, and I'm gonna be careful with this. I'm not gonna make a big mess. I'm gonna use a soft brush with a edge tip, like a flat tip, and I'm gonna, where's my cardboard? I'm gonna use some water with that. Here, I'm gonna make your life a little easier on myself and make a mess. Okay, so I'm going to get my brush damp more. I'm going to mix that in. Okay, and I'm going to paint these floors, and I'm just going to come down the side. And this ain't going to be perfect, and that's all right. Okay, I'm gonna spin it around, do the other way. Okay, now I'm going to get that little doorway out front. And I'm going to hit that step. And I'm attempting to get that step without destroying any of the other paint. And it's not going to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that brush. I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to blow some hot air in here. Then I'm going to get my cardboard. I'm going to get a little bit of that brown, that deep brown. I'm going to get that kind of crappy soft shit brush here. And it's damp as shit. And then I'm going to come back around and do some cleanup around where I got some of that stuff on the ground the wrong color. I'm just going to keep it damp and fix that stuff up. Okay. Sweet. This is going to go in front of the fan while I start working on the roof. So for the roof, the first thing I want to do is this tower part, and I want that to be white. I'm going to get that brown brush I just did the dark brown with because it's big and has good coverage. I'm going to grab my white with that. And I don't care how perfect it is. Again. There we go. We're getting there. Okay. Then just kind of get in here some. You're probably not going to get it perfect. Just do it quick and get in there and get it, you know, so it looks like it's been painted at some point. And we're going to call that a victory up there. Now we have a lot of roof to cover. We're going to do this in 2 colors. Let me get another piece of cardboard right quick. Let me wipe this off too, because this is a big old mess. Okay. First color I'm going to use is one of my favorite colors on Earth, the planet. It's called Pavement. Mine's pretty wet. From this bottle, the consistency between one jug to the next is never quite the same. I'm going to get a soft, flat tip brush. I'm going to hit this up. And I don't care if it's perfect. or we would be here all day and all night. Something like that should be sufficient. Once you got that decent, plop it around just like that. Let's get underneath here and get started on this side. Trying to get in some of the bigger cracks. You don't have to worry about them, but I was just seeing how much work it would actually take, and it was apparently more than I wanted to put in. Okay. Set that brush and that cardboard off to the side. I'm going to hit this with the hot air gun. And that's pretty dry. It's not perfect, that's okay. I'm gonna get a big makeup brush piece, something real crunchy like this. I'm gonna get this cardboard back and I'm gonna get a color called blue gray or gray blue, dark blue gray. Let me get that. I'm just gonna kind of drag it around here, and I'm gonna put some wear and tear. And if I get a little bit of that other mixed in with it, that's all right. I'm not gonna make that even a thought in my mind that that's a problem. Okay, something like that should be good. And it should also collect a lot of the excess moisture we had from the other paint. And we're going to grab that flat brush we did the other part with. And we're just going to clean up our edges on the sides of the church roof. Just like that. Just clean them up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that's going to be good for our church roof now. I'm going to put this in front of the fan and go back and get the church, and then we're going to start doing some washes. And then we're going to do the stained glass window. Church seems to be mostly dry, which is great. There's still some moisture out there, but I'm not going to panic about it. So for the wash, I'm going to use just a black wash that I already own. Let me see if I have a cup or something to put that in. I have this thing here. It's a broken pipe cupcake pan thing. Oops. That's not what I was going for. So I'm just going to use a big brush that can catch a lot of moisture. And I'm going to gross this place up. And if I don't hit every square inch of it, that's fine. I don't want to dwell in one spot too long because I don't want to reactivate my dry paint and smear it around, making like a gray. Okay, so I'm just going real quick. I am not pushing hard either. I'm going to come across the floor with it. And that's going to catch any of that kind of excess moisture I didn't want that pulled up from me doing the walls. And outside here, I'm just going to get in here and dirty this up. Just like this. And keep working my way around. You could hit this with an off-white dry brush afterwards if you wanted, but because I do all this kind of stuff on video and then, you know, do other shit too, probably not going to get to that. Because it would just take too long to dry it all off and let all this settle. Okay, and my church is grimy. And I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to wipe up some of this mess real quick, and we'll go get the roof, and we'll do the white part of the roof. Yeah, well, we'll do the whole roof. Okay, so there's not an enormous mess to clean up. I'm just going to toss this on this plastic pan. I'm going to hit my cross up here. I'm going to hit this roof. Do the white. I'm not spending an enormous amount of time with trying to make this perfect either. And there it is. It's going to be a banger of a church. I'm going to set that up on top. Oh, let me turn the church around. Okay. So, that's the church. I can't, you're going to have to see a picture of when it's done because it's so big you can't really. Let me see if I can pull this off here and kind of capture it. Okay, that's the church. But we need to do that stained glass window. It's just going to glue in. It's not going to be anything too spectacular. Let's get back up here on the mount and get this out of the way. I'm putting this in front of the fan. It would be wise, pardon me, it would be wise to do a touch-up on the ground around there where the wash went down on it. So to do my stained glass window, I'm just going to get a piece of plastic. This is from some kind of package or something, and it's not spotless. But I am going to wipe it out with my dirty, dirty rag. And I'm just going to get a piece of this. Let's just get plastic. It's clearish. Let's get some sticks. Is the glue gun on? No, it's not. Damn it. All right. So I didn't turn my glue gun on, so we're not going to be able to frame this. Let's get a pair of scissors. My glue gun might heat up if I give it a second. We know about how big the window is inside there. I say we. I know about how big the window is inside there. So I'm going to cut this bigger than that and go dry fit it real quick. Okay. It's going to be good enough in size. Let's see if I can do it with, let me get a little bit of that off. Okay. So to get this cleaned up, I'm going to get a tiny bit of this World's Best aerosol glass cleaner and see if I can't just get some of that paint and dust off there. Clean that up a little bit. And it's coming pretty damn clean. Okay, good. I'm going to get my shirt, and even though it's probably covered in so much paint, it's not helping. I'm going to dry that off. All right. Let's get a piece of cardboard and set it on there so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right. So speed paints, washes, whatever you have. Get a thin brush. Let me see if I have a thin, crappy brush handy. I do. Get whatever color you want. I'm going to use this plasmatic bolt here. Okay. And I'm going to come in here with my speed paint on this. And I'm going to make a cross. Okay. Now remember, these bleed. These speed paints. So if you let them touch and they're not dry, they will bleed on each other. The next color I'm going to get is called Tidal Wave. It's blue. It makes really nice blue jeans. Let me get some of that. I'm going to go inside the four little corners in here. And I'm going to leave those not quite touching. Okay. And then I'm going to leave that bottom one there empty for a minute. Okay. All right. Clean my brush out a little bit. And the last color I'm going to do is an orange. I have this Nuclear Sunfire here. I'm going to get that. Okay. I'm going to get my airbrush on the lowest, or my hot air gun, +5 hot air gun burning on the lowest heat. Just like that. I'm going to get some black paint. That's more than I wanted. No problem. with a damp brush, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to paint around the edges of this. And fill in, make that like gap in between the, you know, like the, well, if it's real tight stained glass, you know, it's like a lead wire. I don't think they use lead anymore, but when I was a kid, we used lead. I'm going to do the lead wire part, like the part that holds the glass pieces in that they're affixed to, in this black. And for those of you that know about stained glass, you can tell me what that part's called. Okay. I suppose inks probably would have been better for this. Like rough that a little bit and use an ink. It'll probably get you a better look. Or maybe mixing the ink with gloss Mod Podge. I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of things you could try. I don't know what's best. I really, really don't. But let's get some of that. This stuff here. One of these things. And a snipper. And let's do the sides first. Okay. Got a lot of spider webs on this clippers. These poor clippers have seen much better days. We got one side. Let's do this next side. Okay. Grab a pen. We'll just kind of come on you. Okay. Let's go get the church building real quick. We'll take the roof off, set to the side. It's still soaking wet and making me a mess. And let's see if we can't get this inside here. Dry enough to hook that in. Okay. Checking my window. Make sure it's going to fit. Little bead of glue at the top. Little bead of glue at the bottom. I'm going to stick that right there. Just like that. Okay. And then in theory, and only in theory, do I have a light down here maybe? I don't think I have a light down here, like a little candle light or tea light or whatever you call it. But if I had one, I'd throw it in there and we'd just look and see how it looks. Let me see what's in the drawer. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, I think my kid asked me for a tea light and I gave him that one right there. Anyway, so I had a tea light. We could throw it in there and take a look and see what it looks like, but I just don't have one. So anyways, let's come down off here and take a look at our chapel. Oh, we got to push this roof back some. There we go. There we go. That's what we got. And there's this stained glass windows there. This is how big a miniature is in reference to it. Put them in the doorway. Pull that roof off. Take a gander at how big it is inside. Be able to easily put an altar and some pews and have a good fight in there. And you can put windows in all those windows if you want to. I just don't see the point. In our campaign, there will be fights, and the windows will get knocked out anyway. So, anyways, this has been Doom. This has been a mini-part video. You'll see how many parts when it's all said and done. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that stuff that we need to happen. Leaving comments. Go to the website and buy some miniatures. We'd really appreciate it. There's a discount code going to be in the description now or later. And until then, hey, join our Discord and hang out. And thanks for watching. See you later.